The Black Pants Legion is a clandestine internet alliance. I gained entry back in 2017 when the Legion's abbot, Tex, invited me to join his monastery of autistic nerds. Chill, it's how we refer to ourselves. Really, the spectrum definitely at least nicked me. I mean, have you seen my videos? So this organization I'm a part of has a Space Station 14 server where everybody role plays without being a serious descriptive author about it. You can be a goofball, just make sure to do your job. I must specify that it's not a streamer server with scripted funny moments. At the most, we might have a pre-round discussion about a gimmick idea, but no metagaming. This strict policy is upheld with severe punishment.
Hey guys, how goes the space station?
Shut the fuck up, Boat!
Jesus fucking
Christ,
bro!
Metagaming piece of shit!
How dare you!
Like a bitch, cause you is a bitch and always been a bitch.
My bad. That was totally a scripted funny moment. The rest of this features authentic space stories. Now, the man wearing the plot armor strapped with a ticking time bomb is that Ronald Easter guy. His ego drove him to apply to be the captain. Ronald got the job and was greeted by the head of security. The introductory conversation revealed to the HOS that the captain was cursed with a pirate accent. After accepting that his leader would be speaking in a booty-obsessed dialect, security supervisor asked if the captain had anything planned. Ronald suggested doing a career day, an idea his ghostwriter got from Tex during one of those pre-round gimmick discussions. The HOS went on to question the quartermaster's work ethic. Ron responded by explaining that long as the looting remained peaceful, then the cops should leave those cargo folks alone. Checking on the cargo bay situation himself, Ronald ran into Benson Abernathy, the friendliest fella this side of the void. He's a genuine nice guy who isn't trying to fuck you since this isn't an ERP server, but if it was, I wouldn't hang too close to his kind. The next character to appear was the quartermaster, Randolph P. Checkers, the man who is corrupt as he is efficient, like a dirty cop. Ronald told Randolph about how he was down with theft, but nay on the violence. Switching to the topic of career day, the captain asked if cargo was ready to present. They were not. Another announcement followed, declaring career day mandatory. Every department is required to present their daily duties in a manner that's digestible for unskilled workers such as Ronald Easter. Seeking out these other useless types, Ronald went to the bar to gather bodies for the career day tour. Speaking first to the clown, who must have just got out the can if he thinks selling loose cigarettes is a viable career option. Suddenly, a Glock roach emerged from a vent and began shooting up the bar like a punk too scared to throw hands. A minuscule hitbox makes these cockroaches hard to squish, causing a crowd of people to be the ones who scatter. Bullets flew, dropping a chef and a cargo tech. The mayhem stopped when a beanbag from the bartender's shotgun turned the Glock roach into human organs. Rightfully so, everybody was pretty confused as to why bugs are packing heat. Guess they forgot that insects can adapt to any environment. Beginning the career day tour, Ronald returned to cargo alone. Yeah, no one besides the captain was interested in a new career. The quartermaster seemed disappointed. To lift Randolph's spirits, the cap carried career day on his own back, allowing PC hackers to explain the Cargonian process, during which his right-hand man, that Benson guy, slipped him a paper. On it was lawyer talk for "leave me the fuck alone or I'll see your ass in court." Now that everyone was legally comfortable, Benson continued the presentation. He talked about the Union and how it protects their thieving asses. Following that, Benson showed Ronald step by step how cargo's front desk operates. Then it was the captain's turn to give the system a try. Ronald politely requested paper, and Randolph passed him a sheet. Due to it being handed to him over a counter, Ronald thought it was time to eat, but game engine-based dietary restrictions physically prevented him from eating the paper. His raging appetite led him to the kitchen, where the chef revealed the big mystery behind cooking. He also elaborated on their defensive struggles. Curiosity had Ronald eager to see how the weenies were made. Of course, you always gotta question a space station chef's meat sources. Unfortunately, these too many cooks hadn't made it big with cannibalism yet. Adjacent to food is drinks. Ronald pestered the bartenders in order to learn the route liquids take to reach mouths. The lesson was cut short when that shady quartermaster came to pay a debt. However, Randolph reimbursed himself by borrowing the barman's TV. This incident opened Ronald's eyes to all the free stuff on the countertops. It also morphed career day into an audit. Inspection regarding the bar's liquor license revealed that they were up to code since there was a nearby dark alley. Searching for more free samples, Ronald went to botany, where he pretended to care what someone was saying for drugs. But there were no drugs, so he left and went to the opioid storage facility known as Medbay. The sick bastard thought it'd be funny to interview ER doctors while they try to stabilize patients who are in critical condition. Motherfuckers are here bleeding out and the captain just wants to know why. Eventually he did the honorable thing and drug a few of the lobby bleeders to the doctors. As bodies piled up, Ronald realized that career day was over and it was time to get serious. The station was under attack by radioactive shit crabs. The scientific term for them is rock monsters. They hide behind stone walling that can only be penetrated by the intense death-defying stories of a coal miner. Randolph P. Checkers returned to be the storyteller trying to break through to these monsters. When one of the Rockies appeared, it became a contest of who can do the least amount of friendly fire damage. Further excavation had them spraying on more rocks than a horny geologist. Boo! These fellas ain't studying, they're smashing rocks with lead and lasers. Suddenly some rough-looking diamond spiders jumped out and took down the pickaxe specialist. Ronald was next to crumble. A radiation overdose was the cause of his toppling. For treatment, a doctor placed Ronald in a bed diagonally to give him a stiffer neck than that old Viagra joke my common-law father-in-law loves to tell. Allegedly Hild, the captain, went to the brig to get an update on the state of the station. According to the HOS, zombies were the new threat. Ronald passed out again before getting to see the zombies. Maybe he was becoming a zombie. Security took no chances, placing him in the armory where Ronald died in the mess he made. Rising from the puddle of booze, the captain sits at the bar and attempts to order jungle juice. The bartender didn't know the recipe for this drink. Ronald poorly explained that it's when you go to a party and mix all the liquors in a cooler. Basically moonshine without the hillbilly ingenuity. One drink in and that Benson fella started playing Gangster's Paradise on acoustic guitar, which provoked an inaccurate type-along. As soon as the bartender stepped away, Ronald went and snatched 2 bottles. He gulped down majority of one of the bottles and tossed it at security. Meanwhile, on the radio, it was clear that the bartender knew the captain was a piece of shit, so he cut him off from any alcohol. Ronald responded by remembering he has his own private stock in his office. Rather than get arrested for public intoxication, his excessive drinking restrained him. This self-imposed prison gave him an out-of-body experience usually reserved for psychedelics. Upon awakening from his coma, Ronald didn't reach for his genitals nor his phone. Instead, he was grasping for a drink. The doctor replied with solid advice. Fresh out the hospital, Ronald's vision was so blurry he could barely see the giant spider chomping away at him. Luckily, the crew had his back. Spiders had skeeted cobwebs all over the bridge to send a message that they were the ones in charge. Ronald finally sobered up just to get mauled by a clown spider. Reincarnation granted him a new life as Pun Pun, the lovable bar monkey. This chimp off the old block followed the captain's search party to help find his former self. Once he located his body, he picked up the cap's laser gun as a memento to his past life. Security wasn't pleased. Seeing a primate fire a weapon made them nervous about their job security. The pursuit was on and would have been over quick if it wasn't for God constantly healing Pun Pun, because the Lord enjoyed watching the Reds try to wrangle a monkey. Round 2 had Pun Pun seeing how many folks he could get caught in the crossfire. Now that mob mentality had taken over, security weren't the only ones after him. Crew members were grabbing anything sharp or blunt to hit this monkey. The little guy would have felt really accomplished had he baited one of these dumbasses into nailing the fuel tank like a gay frat boy dare. In the end, Pun Pun and security signed a peace treaty. To stay out of trouble, he stood completely still for the rest of the shift. Evolution helped him find religion. Returning to his Ronald Easter ways, he went from captain to chaplain. Having no idea what to worship, he tried trapping possums in a locker. Believing that might provide answers, at the very least he got a Yu-Gi-Oh hologram to greet him. Yep, rodents became the focal point of his religion. This attracted an eager disciple, a true visionary who redefined what classifies as a rodent. The captain even saw potential in this rat shit. Although God loves to fuck with people, the Divine One made Ronald a head revolutionary as he stood right in front of the captain. Well, the captain only offered up mice in an attempt to dragoon Ronald into recognizing him as his deity. The chaplain quickly changed the subject to the topic of rollerblading, a hobby that looks as stupid as it is painful. Rolling onward, Ronald added another layer of loyalty to his loyal follower by making him a part of the revolution. If they were going to take over the station, then Ronald had to give up rollerblading. Stepping barefoot into the chapel, his toes detected that his church was getting a bit overgrown. An uncut yard wasn't enough to scare anybody away. A damn captain was still looking to get his dick sucked. Even brought a camera. The oral service was interrupted when the enchanted forest began engulfing the chapel, rapidly spreading Disney flora to the rest of the station. Tied to these trees were shroom-induced entities. They were merely woodsy demons trying to protect their land expansion. For survival, Ronald recruited more allies, who were not around to prevent him from getting messed up by a DMT elf. Thankfully, just like God did for Pun Pun, Ronald was given a second chance. This new lease on life had him trapped in medbay by nature's revenge. Ronald made the most of being stuck inside this bottleneck by snatching the chief medical officer's flash and pistol. Now dressed in a skin suit like a tawdry serial killer, Ronald had to act on his revolutionary urge to kill. With the captain's back turned and his eyes blocked by a vending machine menu, he got unexpectedly plugged. After exposing the dangers of Google Glass, the revolutionaries had to get out of there. The group successfully made it on the shuttle, though nature spawned in to make sure they didn't make it out of there alive.